and welcome to Titanium Talar's Tarot, and today I'll be doing a video on how to strengthen your intuition, okay? So this is going to be for anybody who watches this at any time, and yes, anybody who watches it at any time. What else? Anybody who watches this at any time. In this video, okay, what I mainly do is I suggest tips and tricks that you can use to strengthen your intuition. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but some tricks work for some people and others don't, because we are all different. We all need different methods of going about it. And if my way of strengthening your intuition, if one way doesn't strengthen your intuition, then another will, because of course there will be different ways you work. You know, some people have better sight, other people have better hearing, some people have a better memory, other people have taste, very distinct taste. And that is a very good segue into my main topic today. So, as you know, there are different senses. You have sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and you can even add your intuition on that. Okay, it's your sixth sense. Okay, but that is more for everything like related to the above, the divine stuff, the stuff that there's no actual like technical method of doing. I'm like, I don't know how to say this. Right? So you just kind of go along the path. So what this series is mainly focused on is helping you, helping me as well, helping anybody who watches this strengthen their intuition. Because in my perspective, okay, your intuition is one of the most important faculties that you have. Alright, it's what's gonna save you from making big ass mistakes in your life, like I've seen some of my family members do. It will make you, like I've done countless times, okay? Since I was a child, I've always been intrigued by the concept of being in a relationship, and so I would automatically go and tell a guy that I liked him, even if that guy was not necessarily ready. And I still do this to this day. And, you know, at some point I said, I need to strengthen this intuition so that I know when to go and know when to stop. You know, those types of things. I feel confident. I will go and talk to the guy. I will do it. I'm not scared in that manner. But just knowing how to gauge yourself is an interesting fact, an interesting distinction to have. So that has gotten stronger within me. But so, yeah, like I said, so there's sight, hearing, knowing, feeling, tasting, smelling, the senses. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. Okay, is there 6? Now, just like any other sense, you can strengthen it. I mean, you've heard of the sommeliers, right? Like the people who are like so well versed in like odors and tastes and textures of wine. Well, the same thing happens with your intuition. When you decide, I don't think it's the first time I've talked about this, but when you decide to strengthen your intuition, you will find ways. I mean, the ways will come to you. They will come to you because you have put out the intention that will be attracted to you. That is practically law of the universe. Okay? So whenever you decide on something, it is what you are going to put importance on. Like, you know, best example, okay, when you decide to buy a car, a certain make of car, a certain color, okay, what are you going to see more often than not? You'll see more of that car, Okay, I've heard of someone who wanted to buy the most ugliest color car just because they did not want to see it out there on the road. They bought that car. It was ugly as hell. And they were like, huh, I've got a unique car. They went on the road, and oddly enough, they started seeing that car everywhere. It's the same thing. When you decide on something, when you decide to make something happen, that something will come to you. Okay, or you will notice that thing coming to you. So you might be reading something, and then you might be reading something on Facebook or YouTube or something, and then on the left hand side or on the right hand side, I don't really know, or the bottom or the top, something will catch your eye that will tell you this is what you're looking for. Right? It might say something about intuition, and you're like, ooh, well, looky that. Things of that sort. Or emails you would never read or open, that you would never look into, all of a sudden catch your eye because your intention is to strengthen your intuition. And so your intuition signals, read that, watch that, do that, think of that, read that book, those things. So it's always just a matter of deciding on something and just letting it go, and letting the universe or God, whichever word you prefer, just it's interchangeable. So you decide, okay, whatever you choose, whatever you put importance on is what will come to you. Okay? And so the main idea is just like any other sense, okay? Your smell, your taste, your sight, your hearing. If you can strengthen those, even your sense of touch, okay? Even if you can strengthen those, though, I can't enunciate in this moment. Even if you can't, if you can strengthen those, okay, you can definitely strengthen your intuition. And there are multiple ways of doing this. Excuse me, my on vibrate. So there are multiple ways of doing this. First, I would suggest that you would start by paying more attention. Okay, say you want to be more attentive to a certain thing. You're like, okay, today I'm going to notice all of the things. I will notice everything that will be related to this one thing I want to notice more of. And if you pay attention, if you put your importance on it, really seriously put your importance on it, you know what will happen? You will see it more. When you intend on seeing something, you will see it more. Just like that guy who picked the most ugliest color car, saw that car pop up everywhere, same thing will happen to you. It's just that simple. And this is normal life. For example, okay, when I began my interest in reading cards, actually I didn't really start with the intention of reading cards. I was like, let me see if there are readings out there. So I typed it in, and lo and behold, I got pages of them on YouTube. So I watched them. I started watching them 2-3 years in. I was hooked. I mean, and I started really doing readings last March. Yep. Now we're in 2021, so it's not this year, but it's last March. So it's just a matter of wanting it and then going after the impulse of doing it. So what your intuition tells you to do, if you follow that intuition, that intention, that idea, that guidance, all those things. If you follow those, you will be very, you will be good. Okay, you know why? Because you're those thoughts, those weird thoughts that you were like, where'd that come from? That is probably your spirit guides, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, whatever you would like to call it. That's probably that is probably them like throwing you little pebbles, being like, do this, do this. Okay, well, it's an image. Okay, what they're probably doing is suggesting things to you. And so I just use the image of them throwing pebbles at you, like, do this, do this. It's like, if you were in a class and if you were the only person and you were surrounded by your angels and guides, okay, it would look like someone passing you a note. That's the image that I got. It's like a little side note to be like, do this, do that, think of this, talk of that. Those things that you're like, where'd that come from? If you do those, they will help a ton. Because they're taking you on the right direction. It's taking you towards what you want to achieve. And this is where it's crucial to know the difference between your intuition and your ego. It's kind of like, it's important because your intuition is always looking out for you, whereas your ego is only there to have you like make it bigger. It's only there to feel more important, when in reality, feeling more important won't necessarily get you to where you want to get, So sometimes knowing how to differentiate your intuition from your ego is key. Like, I am certain, okay, that all those famous people they're not perfect, but they have one thing in common that I find, which is they are very in tune with their intuition. They listen to it and they don't waver. So it says something, they do it. I'm saying this while thinking of the example of Tom Hiddleston. Because, he had all these things lined up, but they were lined up in such the most absurd way. Not absurd, but like in the oddest way. And he went and did some things that I'm sure if he ever hears this, he'd be like, I don't know what told me to do this, but I just followed this guidance or this knowing within me that I should do that. It takes a lot of guts standing up to your father and deciding to go into a business that he himself is not very accepting of. So it asks for a lot of kahunas to be like, no, I'm acting. That's big. And look at him now. I'm sure he would have been a lousy what was it? Insurance, I think. Something along those lines. Something along those lines. I'm sorry, Tom, if it's not exactly that, but just sometimes do what Tom did. Follow your intuition, even if it's going against the grain, even if you don't really have that much support. But if you know in your guts, okay, that it is one of the most important things that you will do, if you have a strong connection to your higher self, to your angels and guides, to your ancestors, whichever word you like to use, if you have that, they will stand with you till the end. and their only goal is to make your life better, to make you live your best life. Yes. And everybody has it, not just the famous ones. Everyone does. The only difference is how can you strengthen that connection you have with your angels and guides. And let me tell you, it takes some grit and takes some willingness to do it. But if you are willing to do it, it is going to be the most awesome thing ever. I mean, I woke my intuition. I don't know if that's the exact wording I should be using, but I strengthened my intuition, and I would avoid going back to that person who was not very certain of her intuition. Okay? I follow those nudges now. I really do. And they always, always, always pay off. But sometimes, just sometimes, okay, your ego comes in and screws shit up. Okay? So that is why it is crucial to know the difference between your intuition and your ego. Okay? And I'm thinking of one specific incident in my life where I'm not sure if it was my ego or if it was my intuition, because for reals, I'm guessing it was my ego because I really, 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 really wanted to talk to that guy, but yet something told me not to. So I didn't. But then I was like, but why didn't I? I could have just talked to him and he would have talked to me back. And I mean, but why would my intuition steer me the opposite way? Well, now I have an inkling of I think that is because that person, although I might have been happy for like a day or two, would not have really given me much, which is what I felt most of the time. When you follow your ego, that's what happens. I was actually thinking of this one guy who I did date, and who, like, my intuition was like, why are you with him? You know, why? Just let him go. So I did. We parted ways. But, I mean, what is it you actually want? That's when you have to ask yourself, what is it you actually want? Do you want a meaningless relation that is very meaningless? Yes, Talat. Why don't you vary your words? Meaningless. Because it's meaningless. No, but I mean, why would you stick around with someone who isn't really that into you and who won't actually put in more effort? You know? Is it just your ego? Or is it like your intuition telling you, stay with this person? So I just stopped, and now I'm just like, okay, that person will come. The person who I'm meant to be with will come. I'm patient. I can wait. And this was in April. It's going to be like a year. It's going to be 2 years. It's fine. There's no need to rush. Basically, no need to rush. Yeah. So, all this to say that if you can strengthen your sight, your hearing, your knowing, your feeling, your tasting, and your smelling, all right, you can also strengthen your intuition, which is your knowing. Okay? You can. It is just a matter of knowing what to do. Like, for example, I first started with, what did I first start with? It was humming at certain frequencies to decalcify my pineal gland. That worked like magic for a little while until I got used to it, and then it was like, oh, okay, next. And then other things happened and stuff. One of the latest things that I did was stop onions and garlic, which was not an easy feat, which wasn't, but it's totally worth it because now my intuition is stronger. Now, I don't know if there's a correlation between me stopping onions and garlic and my intuition growing stronger, or if it is just because I intended to strengthen my intuition, like I've said here. Just your intention will make it stronger. I don't know. But what I can say for certain is that it worked. And, things of that nature. So there are many different ways. For example, I know of yoga positions or yoga exercises that can help you with your alignment. Okay? With your connecting your crown chakra with your lower chakras. That help you decalcify your pineal gland, things of that sort. That is also something that I did. I did yoga for a certain time. That helped. So, there are many ways of doing this. One is through what you eat, which is working on your body on a molecular level. There's another that is you strengthening your intuition through chanting, which is also a vibration, right? And all these things will help. There's exercise, there's humming. So as I was saying, there's exercise, there's singing, there is talking to yourself. There is also a way that you can reprogram your mind with affirmations, but that is a more tricky thing. It is going to take more time. The reason I think why people are not so hot on affirmations is because it takes longer. It takes time if you don't know how to do it. Affirmations can work if you put in the time and the effort. Like I mentioned last week, okay, you can do anything as long as you give yourself the necessary amount of time needed to make it happen. Okay? Necessary amount of time, the necessary amount of effort, and all that awesome stuff. Okay? And your intuition is just like that. Okay, so not only is your intuition something that you can strengthen, but also your senses, your 5 senses. Don't forget, I said there's 6 senses, right? Your intuition is another one. So if you want to strengthen all 6 of your senses, you can. You just need to have the intention of doing it and working on it, seeing things. Not what I mean to say is seeing things is just realizing that things like this are out there, and if you put in as much time necessary searching for them, you will absolutely find them. Okay? That is what happened to me. One of the other reasons why I'm doing this is because this video series is because when I did it, no one actually was talking of these that I know of. I might be wrong, but so I had to find them little by little over a span of 10, 12 years. So I am now boiling them down for you guys. Cause hell, I would want this. I would want this I would have wanted this in my life back in the day. So since I didn't find it, I'm being this for you guys. Okay? So with that being said, my gorgeous viewers, I wish you guys, that is all. First of all, that is all that I have for you guys this week. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click on the notification bell to be notified when I post new stuff, as well as leaving me a comment, because I adore them comments. I read them all. I might not answer all of them, but I absolutely read them all. Okay? And with that being said, I would like to remind you, as mentioned, we all have an intuition, and it is crucial to strengthen it and to learn how to use it, okay, so that we can live a better life. And not just for life. I mean, we can use it for everything, but life is the main reason why it's awesome and is helpful. But also, let's just say for what I do tarot readings, right? For the other days of the week. And so you being able to through your intuition be able to discern what is for you and what isn't is extremely useful, because some people will take whatever, like I know in my case at the beginning, I would take whatever a reader would say and be like, this is gonna happen. Boy, was I wrong. Not everything I say is gonna happen. Not every reader is attuned to your specific case, or to you. Because generally what we do is we do general readings, and if you want a more specific reading, you have to order one or schedule one, at least in my case, okay? And so that is what I do. Okay, so I help you strengthen your intuition. I give you guys readings. I also help you learn the challenge for the next week. I also help you to heal from the past energetic blocks and from the past energy from the past week. I'm having a little difficulty enunciating, and I'm having a little difficulty getting my ideas out. We're good. Okay, so if you like this, and if you would like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email in the box below, and it'll be my pleasure to help. Okay, in that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and my price, okay? Now, with that being said, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click on the notification bell to be notified when I post new stuff, as well as leaving me a comment, because I adore comments. I read them all. I might not answer all of them, but I absolutely read them all. Okay? And with that being said, my gorgeous viewers, I wish you guys all a very good week, and I will see you next time, alright? Bye!